In his diary, Richard Burton once wrote, "I loathe acting." It was around the time he'd been reduced to taking a guest starring role in The Fall Guy with Lee Majors to supplement his somewhat dwindling income in the mid-1980s. But I digress. And if I may be so bold as to paraphrase the great Sir Richard, I loathe actors. If you're even vaguely interested, I could tell you why. My name is Jeremy Reed, and it's currently my misfortune to be directing a rather disagreeable bunch of actors in a really rather awful play. And what a ghastly bunch they are. There's Victoria Smith, a former bikini model floozy, transformed through a few acting classes into a budding Meryl Streep. Then there's Andy Hansen, a TV tough guy. Tired of the empty accolades of Viewers' Choice Awards and the sacks full of quivering middle-aged fan mail, he's decided to earn some respect in the theater. Last, certainly in my mind least, Ron Bourne, the self-appointed grand actor of the production, whose career highlight, as far as anyone can tell, involved being shot 5 times in the head by Charles Bronson in Death Wish 3. And the play, well, the less said about that, the better. A deep south potboiler. I would say a poor man's Gone with the Wind, but more like a destitute man's Gone with the Wind.
I can't stay, Buck.
Why not, Maisie? And you can't leave with storms a-coming. I won't allow it.
Oh, Buck, seems like there's always storms a-coming. Leastways when it comes to me and you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should I go out and come back in?
We're rehearsing.
Well, that is a surprise. By now, Action Man here has usually seduced all his female co-stars. It has been nearly a week after all.
I think you may be underestimating him, and you're definitely underestimating me.
I doubt it.
That's okay. I don't mind being underestimated.
Well, I do.
Believe it or not, this is me being tolerant. I could mention why they chose an Asian actress for a play set in the American Civil War.
What? You guys have been playing Asian people forever. What about Charlie Chan? Mr. Moto? Dr. No.
That sounds like a list of Hong Kong's top nightclubs.
Well, we're not going to put up with any more of your tyranny.
Tyranny? Tyranny? Been reading the dictionary again, have we? Adolf Hitler was tyranny. Joseph Stalin was tyranny.
Some of us aren't old enough to remember.
I don't know what you're laughing about. You're barely in the first flush of youth yourself.
Touché, but this, well, it's all in the genes, Jeremy.
Yes, so I've heard. Speaking of age, where is the old fart?
How should we know?
Well, if it isn't the Admirable Crichton. Please do tell. What interrupted your stately progress here? Single-handedly holding off the Mongol hordes? Rescuing damsels from savage tribesmen?
Piss off.
Not a very classy response.
My cat is dying of cancer. Who ever heard of a cat dying of cancer?
Well, in fairness, Ron, he was a very heavy smoker.
Your attempts at humor are as unsuccessful as your attempts at acting.
Be that as it may, I think it's time that you started showing up when everyone else does. I'm starting to think that you don't like this play.
I loathe this play, almost as much as I loathe you.
I don't know what brings me more pleasure, that you are unable to appreciate this fine piece of work, or knowing that my loathing of you is entirely mutual.
I think it's a fine piece of work, too. In doing my research, I found that the writer really suffered for her art. She died in poverty, you know.
Well, richly deserved, if you ask me. She can feel no more pain in this life. Now we're the ones to suffer for her art.
Well, if you feel that strongly, you could always withdraw from the play.
You must be joking. You should see the vet bills for that bloody cat.
Very well, then. We will begin. We'll move along to the scene where Lester Biggins arrives, finding Buck and Maisie deep in conversation. Now, he, of course, suspects something is going on and is very, very angry. So no acting required from you, Ron.
It would be wasted on you three anyway.
Why do you keep going to the back row when we're rehearsing?
I need elevation to see the whole room.
Bullshit. You were asleep during the last run.
I saw that too. During that ridiculous scene when I give that overblown speech to the Confederate Army as we're being wiped out in the middle of a battle. I was furious. The cheek of it. Well, naturally, I remained professional, of course.
I was not sleeping. I was visualizing. Now, if you wouldn't mind.
You have to tell Lester. The time has come. I want to make a life for us together, y'all.
Wait a minute! Wait a minute! I want to make a life for us together, y'all? Y'all isn't in the fucking script!
I was interpreting. People in the South say y'all a lot, so I thought I'd put it in.
Not in a romantic scene in the middle of the Civil War? These people are not rednecks. Rednecks say, "You ain't taking away my guns," or "Y'all should come by and see my new truck." But Colonel Buck Masters of the Confederate Army does not fucking say y'all. Okay? Yo?
All right, I'll take it out.
Please.
You have to tell Lester. The time has come. I want to make a life for us together.
What in tarnation is going on here?
No. Ron, you're supposed to enter angrily. I've seen angrier entrances to the laundromat of my apartment building.
I was saving my anger for the run of the play. I thought you'd be, perceptive enough to see that.
Clearly, I am not. But I am perceptive enough to know that this play is going to be a fucking fiasco, and I, for one, am not going to...
Who's that?
Why do people always say that? We don't know who it is. If we knew who it was, we wouldn't have to answer the door.
Well, perhaps instead of standing there being a man of action, you might want to go and open it and see who's there.
Fine. Treated like a goddamn doorman around here anyway. Hi.
Hey, well, wasn't sure if I should bust in, but I heard some yelling and thought maybe I'd come at a bad time.
Of course not. That was just rehearsal.
Oh, great.
The play gets very dramatic, Mr. Feldman.
Actually, it's James, but I was a little confused when I heard the yelling. I didn't hear any southern accent, so I thought maybe you were having an argument.
Well, you see, that's actually my fault, James. I don't normally use the accent until right up until the dress run of the play, you see.
Actors, eh? Well, I don't want to be butting in on you like this or looking over your shoulder as you're doing things, but I didn't get to where I am building up the Feldman fortune without keeping my eye on things. How's everyone getting along?
Marvelously, now that you ask. I was just saying to Ron, all the fun we've had down through the years, and yet I cannot remember having had more fun than right now. Isn't that right, Ron?
Yeah, we certainly had some fun over the years, haven't we?
And how's the lovely Victoria getting along?
Presenting a new face always is a challenge. Yet this has been a joy, a delight. She is a natural talent. Isn't that so, Ron?
Yeah, I was actually shocked to hear she was taking acting lessons. My immediate thought was, is she learning from her acting teacher, or is her acting teacher learning from her?
They're a couple of sweeties, aren't they?
And how about Andy? Now there's a man's man. Perfect for the part, eh?
Yeah. Such quiet strength, understated. He underacts so effectively. He reminds me of a young Clint Westwood.
You mean Clint Eastwood, right?
No, I mean Clint Westwood. He was an actor I acted with in the Mississauga Amateur Theatre. He was a real talent.
Oh, yes, I remember him. Whatever did happen to him?
He was walking home drunk one night and he fell off the Bloor Viaduct. Tragic.
Really, they're too kind to me.
Well, I'm very pleased and proud. I'm excited. That sounds like you've got one heck of a play on your hands. Well, I've got to get back to work. There's always someone somewhere out there looking to buy a previously loved automobile.
Absolutely.
Pleasure.
Has that Philistine creep left yet?
Yes, he has. Now that's fucking acting.
It's very exciting to be making a debut in the theater. This is what I've dreamed of for years. I just can't wait to get out there and knock him dead.
Yeah, it's an interesting interpretation, isn't it? An Asian actor playing in a Civil War play?
You said you weren't going to ask me about that.
Well, it's a very demanding part. I mean, Buckmasters is a man of action, but with a softer side. I think you'd even say a ladies' man.
Isn't that the same as the roles you play on TV?
Well, yeah, but can we do that again? Is that shit?
I remember Charlie saying to me, it's Charles Bronson, we were in Death Wish 3 together. He said, Ron, you were born to play a Southern patriarch. And he said, you must do that one day. Well, here I am.
I don't remember you in Death Wish 3.
Well, maybe you need to see the movie again, hadn't you?